Excuse me. Of course, belching is the best way to open a video. I no longer work in Bracebridge, and I'm relieved by that. I am. It was becoming a burden, and there's a few factors that ended that relationship. And one of them is my experiences as a contractor. And I'll get into that. I'm going to get into that. I just did like a 3-minute video and for YouTube, so I'm going to put this up on Facebook for all people whom happen to be interested. And out of the gate, I'm going to say this right now. I support nationalizing a union for aircraft mechanics in Canada. Just flat out. I'll say, I'm gonna tell you why, like right now. Because of the agencies, the placement agencies, and because of the lack of a standardized matrix or matrices of how to support the people that actually do the job, not some financier halfway across the world who decided that they wanted to buy 15 ATRs or 20 -8s from a bunch of failed airlines and then re them to make their own airline from the corpses, the zombie corpses of other people's failed ventures. But I gotta tell you, I've seen a lot of different ways in which companies fail, and I've seen a few ways in which these companies succeed, and they have staying power. And I would like to. I think I would reference, maybe like Ward Air in the history of Canada, or WestJet before their new ownership. And excuse me, I still have pneumonia. I still do. But the way I've experienced things is that it doesn't matter how much money you're being paid. If you're paying out of pocket for accommodations, or if you're being flown somewhere for a rental car, and then those two things, then you're getting screwed. You're getting screwed. You're getting bent over without lube, and I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. Because if you're paying out of pocket, then that is a sunken cost, right? And you'll never get that money back. There's things that are involved in order to get the job done. One is getting the people, okay? The skilled traits, okay? Preferably from a local source and people that have tribal knowledge, okay, of the area, the country, and the culture. Those are very important things here, okay? When you bring people in from halfway across the world and you promise them visas for them to be there, and then you pay them shit wages, in practicality, that is serfdom. It's serfdom. Or in contemporary terms, that is slavery. Because they don't have enough money to go home. They don't have an exit plan. And they're reliant upon the people that give them the employment. Right? They have no upward mobility. And they have no self-determination. Okay? I hope you're listening. So, again, as someone who's traveled across the country 7 times, if not more. Okay, so 4,800 kilometers. I'm telling you, 4,800 kilometers. Let's look at the circumference of the world. Okay, so this Earth's circumference is 40,075 kilometers. Let's look at 4,000 kilometers times 7. 4,800. Let's call it 5,000 times 7. $35,000 kilometers of travel. So that means I've almost circumnavigated the world just by driving. By driving my car. Okay? And I know there's some truckers out there who have millions of miles behind them. No doubt in my mind. But when the circumstance leads you to A, sleeping in your car, and then fundamentally being punished for time you've taken off, say to mourn a family member or a beloved pet. But our culture in North America, we hold our dogs and our cats to a different level than other cultures do. You know, we've elevated our relationship, our symbiotic relationship with these animals to a point where they are family members. And then beyond that, if you have a persistent illness, in the case of pneumonia, and pneumonia will, even with antibiotics, will take you out of action for weeks. So then beyond that, say like the inability to compensate for the real estate market and you can't find accommodations yourself. How is that your fault, right? How is that the individual's fault? It's not. It's not. So when it comes down to the brass tacks, $35 an hour, even with benefits, is not enough. It's not enough. I gotta tell you, it's just not enough. Even as an employee to an agency for which then employs you and gives you benefits, when the contracting rate is above, as I was just saying, $50 an hour plus per diem, $100 an hour. Okay, so that means I'm making, on average, if I was a contractor with sole proprietorship or incorporation, of $12,000 a month. $12,000. Okay, that way I can compensate for the risk. But it doesn't work so much anymore. And that's why I want a tabula rasa. I want a nationwide union for aircraft mechanics, if they're, whether or not they're employed by an AMO or not. Otherwise, it's not fair. You got to cut these people out. Bottom line, I don't give a fuck.